Stan the Annuity Man here, lounging and showing off my solid gold Nike Air Maxes. The producers are fixated on these shoes. I will not tell you the price. All I can vow to you as my YouTube followers is I will never wear a non-gold shoe ever again. It's going to be gold all of the time. And you know, producer, I'm sitting here reading these books, and they're really the best books I've ever read. Ironically, I wrote them, and I'll send them to you for free in this little thing here. Look at that. Look at that, producer. It fits in there. We're going to talk about annuities, so slow down. Easy. Look, it fits in there. Ships it to you. Just go to my site, theannuityman.com, and we'll ship them to you for free. So let me get in a better position. I'm going to talk to you in 2 seconds. But look at the shoes. One more time. The shoes. As Mars Blackman said, it's all about the shoes, Michael. So we're talking about not shoes, is how to calculate an annuity and run the right quotes. How do you do that? And by the way, producer, antisocial, actually it should be that. Antisocial, because I guess I am a little bit. I mean, you're going to work with me, you're going to be my client, I hope, but we're never going to be friends because you don't need friends as your agent or advisor. I'm going to be the best advisor that you've ever had, I'll guarantee you that. But from the standpoint of anti-socialist of socialism, until we run out of everyone else's money. Right, producer? Doesn't work. Sounds good in theory. My younger daughter that goes to NYU, she swears to me that socialism works. And I'm like, that's probably going to work itself out once you pay taxes. But who knows if she'll ever do that? Who knows if she'll ever get out of college? I digress. Let's talk about annuities. Let's talk about how to calculate the right quotes. Let's talk about how to do that, but after this musical interlude. So how do you calculate an annuity, get the right quotes? First thing first, you need to figure out if you need an annuity at all. And then if you do, what type? What type works best? By the way, spoiler alert, no type is perfect. I know that there are people out there, if you said, I've got a sprained ankle, well, this is the annuity. Or I need income, well, this is the annuity. Or this is the annuity. No, that's called agenda selling. You might not need an annuity. There's 2 questions that you ask to even determine if we get to the calculator standpoint. And oh, by the way, theannuityman.com, we have the best calculators on the planet. Quotes all carriers, you can use it at your leisure, etc. But here's the questions. Number 1, what do you want the money to contractually do? Keyword contractual. Number 2, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? The reason I pounce on that word contractual, annuities are contracts. You only buy them for what they will do, not what they might do. Might do is the hypothetical, theoretical, back-tested, projected, hopeful, agent return scenario. Don't ever do that. Don't buy the dream. Don't be the rube at the table. You know, as they say in Vegas, if you don't know who the rube at the table is, it's you. That's not you. Don't buy the dream. Don't trust what that agent's telling you. That includes me. Don't trust the agent. Trust the policy. Trust the contract. Trust what's in that policy. And you say, well, how will I know what's in the policy until I buy it? Good question. I'm glad you asked that. If you want to see the policy, I will send you a specimen policy, the exact same verbiage, the exact same wording, before you even buy it. And if there's an agent that you want to work with other than Stan the Annuity Man, which I cannot even imagine why, but let's just say it's your brother or something, have them give you a specimen policy. Have them send you the application to read before you even fill it out. I mean, ask for the information. These are contracts. I'm assuming you scanned the contract for your home if you're a homeowner, or you scanned any other contract that you sign. You can do the same with annuities. And the best thing about annuities is that there's a free look time period. So let's just say you got issued a policy, you got high pressured into something. You can get your money back within a specific time frame that your state, each state has a specific free look policy time frame. You can get your money back after buying it. But let's get back to the topic, which is calculating the right quote using annuity calculators. How do you even do that? You know, if you need lifetime income to start within 30 days up to a year, that's an immediate annuity quote, a single premium immediate annuity quote. If anyone else tries to sell you anything else, they're trying to go on a trip to some faraway land if they sell enough of that product. And I see that too much. Well, he told me that this was better than annuity, than a single premium immediate annuity stand. No. If your contractual guarantee is income that you want and you want it to start now, that's an immediate annuity. If you want it to start later, then it's either deferred income annuity, a qualified longevity annuity contract, or an income rider. We'll quote them all. Bottom line is when you ask what's the best annuity, I don't know that until you give me the parameters to run that quote, and then I'll run that quote with all carriers for the highest contractual guarantees available, and then I'll show them to you, and then we'll get on the phone and talk about it. So when you're running quotes for, say, lifetime income, I'm going to need your date of birth, or if it's joint with someone else, dates of birth, both dates of birth, your state of residence, what type of account it is, how much money you want to put in, or how much money you want to solve for. We can reverse engineer that quote. Those are really the basics. And from there, we'll start digging in and I'll try to understand from you how you want to customize that quote. When you run quotes on our annuity calculators, I mean, there's myriads of ways to structure it. And you really don't know what you don't know, right, producer? I mean, that's beautiful. That should be a love song. You really don't know what you don't know. And with annuities, it really comes down to that. So it's not one of those industries where it's easy to buy without talking to an expert. And I will tell you this, if you're not talking to someone who's been doing this for decades and decades and decades, like moi, number one agent in the country, America's annuity agent, and just getting the next person that picks up the phone, some 27-year-old that knows nothing, of which I have cowboy boots older than them, then you get what you pay for. Do not accept advice from people who hadn't been in the war, who hadn't been in the business, who don't understand it, who haven't written books and done all these videos and podcasts and written articles. I totally understand it, and with my background at Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Payne Weber, and UBS, I understand markets. I also understand how annuities can and cannot fit into a portfolio. I have no problem telling you that it won't fit if it's putting a square peg into a round hole. But I also understand allocation and proportion with my background managing money at those other places. Annuities fit in some cases, but before you run those quotes, we're going to need to know what you want to solve for. And again, what do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? And I have one more thing that I use called PIL. It's an acronym. P stands for principal protection. I stands for income for life. L stands for legacy. The other L stands for long-term care, confinement care, that type of stuff. If you don't need to contractually solve for one or more of those things, contractually solve for, then you do not need an annuity of any type. Period. End of story. If someone's trying to sell you an annuity for market growth, don't buy it for market growth. Buy it for contractual guarantees. I know my variable annuity brethren, I don't sell variable annuities. They're fine. But even my guys out there and gals out there that sell variable annuities, you have to admit there's limitations on the choices. And in my world, coming from those firms, if you want true market growth, there should be no limitations on your choices on how you invest the money. Now, variable annuities do have their place. There's some no-load variable annuities that work for tax-deferred growth, of which they were put on the planet in the 1950s for. But in my opinion, in my world, in my contractual guarantees only world, remember, will do, you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. You only buy it for the contractual guarantees. I've also done another video called Annuity Calculators, How to Find the Best One. The best one's at theannuityman.com. I represent pretty much every single carrier out there. And we are a professional organization licensed in all 50 states. And the key is me, and that's not being egotistical, but that's what sets us apart, is me and you talking on the phone one-on-one, no pressure, no sales pitches, just me and you talking, and me getting an understanding of what you're trying to achieve, and then me putting together a customized plan for you using our calculators and running quotes that will fit your specific situation and goals. It's really that simple. It's really that simple, and I encourage you to do that. Now, my producers wanted me to do a high kick and show you these gold shoes again, but I want to be back for the next video, because if I did that, I'd really hurt myself. So hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man video.